now. Jody Lewis. I'm talking about Jody Lewis.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much. So I just pictured all of you in your underwear, and you look fantastic. Those New Year's resolutions are just awesome. So contrary to what it says in the program, this is called busboy. B-U-S, not B-U-F. Busboy. Typo. I was mad, but I got over it. So anyway, this is my story called Busboy. In mid-July, my beloved Papa, my mom's dad, left this world, and naturally I was devastated. Just like I am right now. I needed something ridiculous to pick up my spirits, because nothing was working. I felt so deflated. The ordinary diversions like TV, reading, sleeping, shopping, whatever, were of no help. Facebook didn't exist yet, so I couldn't lose myself in strangers' vacation or food photos. And I didn't want to eat myself into obese oblivion. So when I learned that David Cassidy was going to be in Philadelphia, where I lived in, for the VH1, Nick at Night, back on the bus tour, I knew I found the diversion I so desperately needed. Although about 20 years separates me from my mild admiration of Keith Partridge. See, I never really regarded him as anything other than a sitcom character. David Cassidy, wow. And although this admiration was nothing compared to the way I dug Greg Brady, I'm still hip to checking him out. He's appearing somewhere on Delaware Avenue. He'll be arriving on the bus and then coming off the bus to have lunch with a fan who had won some sort of contest, after which he will be signing autographs. Now this is a picture of the bus you may remember from the sitcom. There's some whacked out chick wearing high-waisted jeans posing right. I have no idea who she is. She's kind of an idiot. I don't think there will be that much of a crowd. Surely no one really remembers this guy, or even if they do, anyone silly enough to dig him 20 years earlier will have buried that admiration under 2 decades of real life. But when I arrive, I immediately see that I'm mistaken. All my papers are falling. The crowd is quite large and includes mostly women, most around my age, and some a bit younger who I never would have thought knew anything about this guy. All of whom clutch posters and old Partridge Family and David Cassidy album covers. Albums? Covers? Cherish? Barely able to keep themselves from flipping their wigs, or at least their big South Philadelphia hair. Despite myself and my sneers, I can't help but giddy as well. I even kind of wish I'd known about this event earlier, so I could have gone to my mom's house and unearthed some of my own memorabilia. My dad had owned record stores in the 60s and 70s, and I had every single Partridge Family album ever made in mint condition. Now listen, these chicks have taken off from work. Some of them even closing down their businesses for the day. Some of them hauling along their kids for a chance to see their longtime idol. Most of them have never seen him up close and personal. Some of them had seen him in concert. All, however, are excited to the point of near hysteria. They've waited 2 decades. After what seems like an additional 2 decades, the multicolored bus, complete with that diamond-shaped panel in the back declaring, "Caution, nervous mother driving," pulls up into the parking lot. And even though we cannot yet see David, everyone is screaming as if they can. But because this guy is such a tease, he waits for quite some time before getting off the bus. and I know he's getting off on the heady power he has over these fans. Finally, he slinks down the steps, touches his stardusty boot to the blacktop, and of course the girls go crazy like he's the second coming of Cassidy and start jumping up and down as they would have done 20 years earlier at one of his concerts. He nears me, and I must grudgingly confess to a fair level of excitement. As he passes by me, he looks right at me. He grins. And when he's within arm's reach, I think, shit, David Cassidy's a fucking shrimp! He still wears his hair in the signature shag that my brother tried to emulate quite successfully back in the heyday. He wears groovy, hip-hugger pants tight on his tiny ass. His eye-twinkly smile is still there too, with faint traces of eye crinkly that I suspect would appear even when he is not smiling. However, since he has a permagrin plastered on his face, you can't tell. You can tell, however, that his skin is stretched so tightly across his face that it looks like it might split if he grins any more desperately. So after having lunch inside the restaurant, away from the crowd, the autograph portion of the afternoon is upon us. Cassidy's people give the crazed crowd a whole host of instructions about the serious business of autograph signing. I love this. We're to pass. Yes, gaze upon the people.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. We're to pass any paraphernalia to be signed up to him through the open window of the bus, at which time he will sign it and pass it back down to us. We are not, under any circumstances, to get on the bus. Now, things are going reasonably well for maybe about 15-20 minutes, until somehow a couple of people, yes, they manage to get on the bus. However, their attempts to touch their idol are met without a shred of humor. Instantly, David starts shrieking, and the pair of maverick intruders is ejected from the bus, almost as forcefully as if he had pressed a button, landing them in the parking lot once again. "Oh, come on!" he yells through the still open window. "That's it! I'm not signing anything! I'm not doing it! No one is allowed on the bus! You're not supposed to get on the bus!" Within minutes, the bus speeds away. Nervous mother driving down Delaware Avenue. And with that, he's gone. We're all left standing in the parking lot, dazed and amused. Okay, so I'm the only one amused. Everyone else is standing there mute and on the verge of a meltdown. Arms that have been proudly holding up posters or album covers in anticipation and expectation slowly lower. Tears of thrilled anticipation are replaced with tears of disappointment, heartbreak, and disillusionment. Just like before a thunderclap, when you wait for the roar and the ensuing lightning, everything is silent. And then, he's such an asshole! A woman next to me shouts, tears streaming down her cheeks, mascara streaks trailing. Irate fans start tearing up their posters and their album covers. Stuff that they have held onto for 2 decades all of a sudden loses all meaning and all significance. Yeah, that's right. This is how it happened. Note to self, get some tape. Whereas before I suspect they would have chosen these items to take with them to a desert island or remove them from their houses in the event of fire, now they're discarding them as if they were bags of dog shit. I, apparently alone, am unmoved to tears. I stand there, slack-jawed, wide-eyed, arms crossed, laughing at this ridiculous turn of events. He is an asshole, I say. He should be happy anyone knows who the hell he is anymore, let alone wants his goddamn autograph. What a fucking loser. And then, almost as quickly as their idol zipped away, Keith Partridge and David Cassidy devotees alike, like The Walking Dead, drained of 20 years of anticipation, make their shuffle-footed ways home. I've since come to realize that perhaps the real problem was with the name of the tour itself, Back on the Bus. Had it only been called Back Off the Bus, Bitches, at least the fans would have known what to expect and stayed home, leaving this petulant pussy boy alone in a parking lot with nothing to sign but a restaurant check. I do have to sort of thank him, though, for picking up my spirits in a way I never anticipated. So for that alone, I must say to this whiny, pint-sized spoil sport, hey, I think I love you.